Hello and welcome to Smart Kit Designs. Whether you're a small business owner, freelancer, or growing team, keeping track of clients, deals, and follow-ups can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. In this tutorial, we'll walk you through how to set up and use your Client Tracker Pro step by step. You'll see how each tab works so you can manage clients, track deals, send quotes and invoices, log interactions, use automations, and stay on top of tasks, all in one connected system, without needing complicated CRM software. For this demo, we'll be using the light mode version in Google Sheets. You may want to adjust the zoom level to fit your screen and make the text easier to read. Try a few sizes to find what works best for you. You'll find a link to the tracker in the description below if you have not grabbed yours yet. You can also use the chapters to jump to any part of the tutorial at any time. Alright, let's dive in. Starting with the Instructions tab. The Instructions tab is your starting point for getting the most out of the Client Tracker Pro. Think of it as your quick reference guide right inside the template. Here, you'll find a link to this video tutorial, access to a fresh template just in case you need a brand new copy, navigation links to jump easily between sections within the tab, and all the written instructions for each tab with examples and screenshots. We've also included best practices and an FAQ to cover the most common questions. There are the 3 steps you will need to take before moving to the Setup tab. The Client Tracker Pro is powered by App's script functions. If you are not familiar with Google Script, it's Google's built-in coding language that allows spreadsheets to run smart automations in the background. Don't worry, you won't have to write a single line of code. In this tracker, scripts power things like sending emails, generating PDFs, syncing data, and logging reminders, so you can work faster without touching any code. When you use Google Sheets with scripts for the first time, you'll need a quick one-time setup. The first time you click a button, a Google dialog box will ask for permission. Click Continue and select your Google account. Review the permissions, such as sending emails and accessing spreadsheets. Select All and click Continue. The scripts are now fully active, and you won't need to reauthorize unless you make a new copy of this spreadsheet. The second step is to check your spreadsheet matches your local settings. This ensures all dates and times display correctly so calendars, reminders, invoices, and reports stay accurate. To do this, click File, then down the bottom of the list, click Settings, then select your local and time zone, and finally, click Save and Reload. Finally, in the last step, we'll make sure archived documents get properly stored and referenced in your Google Drive and to prevent any script errors. To do that, open your Google Drive. Create a new folder and name it Client_Tracker spelled exactly as shown in the screen. Once the root folder is created, and if you use the automation features of the tracker, any quotes or invoices in your tracker will be created and automatically organized into this folder under subfolders like /invoices/2025/client-name. And that's it for the prerequisites. Complete these 3 steps once and you'll save time and avoid frustration later. The rest of the Instructions tab is dedicated to providing details about all the tabs of the tracker. Anytime you're unsure about what to enter or how something works, come back here as your reference, and easily navigate to any section for more details. Now that the foundations are set, let's move into the Setup tab. The Setup tab is the foundation of your Client Tracker Pro. Everything you enter here automatically flows through the rest of the system, keeping your data consistent and saving you time. The tab is organized in 6 sections: Business Profile, Sales Reps and Staff, General Settings, Workflow Automations, Email Templates, and Setup Validation. Start with the business profile. Add your business logo, details, and default currency. Set your quote validity, tax rate, payment terms, document numbering format, and churn threshold, the period of inactivity after which clients are flagged at risk. Next, go to Sales Reps and Staff section. Enter team members, their contact details. Mark who is active or no longer part of the team. These data are used in deals, tasks, quotes, invoices, and to auto-generate email signatures. Then, scroll down to the General settings. Here, you define the drop-downs and statuses that drive your CRM. Some fields with gray headers, like sales stages and invoice statuses, are system-locked. Don't edit them, as they power key automations. You can, however, set everything else as you want. Add win probability by stage, add client industries, interaction types, task priorities, lead sources, client statuses, follow-up types, service categories, task categories, and payment methods. Each drop-down supports up to 10 options. The next section is Workflow Automations. This is where you choose what you want the system to do for you, like sending emails, generating PDFs, syncing quotes, or automatically logging reminders versus what you will do manually, like clicking a button to download a PDF, send an email, or archive a quote. You can enable and disable actions based on your needs. Take the time to read more details about what each automation does when enabled and disabled. Use the checkbox to turn automations on and off. Manual buttons for PDF downloads and archiving work even if automation is off, but email sending requires that option to be enabled. We recommend starting with Invoice PDF, email sending, quote generation, and quote sync turned on, while keeping email reminders and payment receipts off. This way, the system won't auto-send reminders or receipts to clients, and you'll stay in full control by choosing when to send them manually with the action buttons. On the right side, set the cadence for emails and reminders. Our built-in validations ensure your cadence makes sense. For example, you can't send an overdue notice before the payment terms expire. A message will appear prompting you to review the cadence if a value doesn't align with the overall logic. Then scroll down to the Email Templates section. The Client Tracker Pro includes 7 pre-built templates for tasks and billing, such as Task Reminder, Invoice Sent, Upcoming Reminder, Overdue Reminder, Final Notice, Payment Receipt, and Quote Sent. Take the time to review the details and purpose of each email. Each template comes with triggers, dynamic variables like client name or invoice number, and editable subject lines and body text. Keep the variables in place so your client data merges correctly. If you don't want to use a template, turn off the email sending action in the automation section instead of deleting the template. Finally, complete the setup validation. Clicking the Validate Setup button checks that your configurations are correct, and if it's your first time using the spreadsheet, it will trigger the one-time Google script authorization we've reviewed earlier. Once you've finished these steps, your system is ready to go. You can start adding clients, tracking deals, and managing tasks with everything running smoothly in the background. Now, let's review the Clients tab. The Clients tab is the heart of your Client Tracker Pro. This is where every client record lives. From here, you'll be able to track all client details, deals, invoices, payments, follow-ups, and even churn risk automatically. Colored columns in all tabs contain formulas and update automatically. To add a new client, simply scroll to a blank row and begin entering details. Client ID is generated automatically when you add a client, no need to edit it. Fill in the client name, company, email, phone, and address manually when creating a new record. Select the industry from the drop-down to segment your clients. Choose the status depending on their stage in your relationship. Lead source and owner autofill from the Deals tab to show where the client came from, like website, social, or referral. And when a sales rep is assigned, set a preferred channel to note how they want to be contacted, whether by email, call, or SMS. Use the consent column to track if a client has opted in for marketing communications. This spreadsheet only sends transactional emails like receipts, reminders, or task notifications. But storing consent helps if you plan to run marketing campaigns outside the tracker. Add a custom follow-up cadence if you want to override the default one you set in the Setup tab. Finally, add anything about the client in the Notes column, like preferences, promotions, or agreements. The second half of the Client Database tab fills in on its own, so you don't have to do any manual updates. It includes active since that tracks when the client first did business with you, based on invoices or deals. Total deals, one deal value, invoiced, paid, and outstanding balances are all pulled live from the Deals and Invoices tabs. Last interaction and next follow-up sync directly with the Interactions and Follow-ups tabs, so you always know what's coming next. And finally, churn risk flags whether a client is okay or at risk based on the threshold you set in your Setup tab. Now that you've seen how to add and manage clients in the master database, let's move over to the Client Profile Lookup tab, where you can instantly pull up a detailed view of any client, their activities, deals, tasks, and invoices, all in one place. The Client Profile Lookup gives you a 360-degree view of client details, deals, invoices, tasks, interactions, and recent activity. It's designed to help you prepare before meetings, track progress, and quickly spot risks without jumping between multiple tabs. At the top right corner, simply select a client from the drop-down, and the entire dashboard updates automatically with their information. On the left side, you'll see the client's contact details, lifetime value, won deals, and what's currently in the sales pipeline. In the center, you'll see an overview of the client activity and tasks, with more detailed lists of recent interactions and outstanding tasks to be completed. On the right, you'll see open invoices, account receivables, and financial insights. To make things even faster, the dashboard includes quick action buttons. With just one click, you can log a new activity, create a deal, issue a quote, or jump directly to invoices. This tab is all about saving you time and giving you clarity so you can focus on building stronger client relationships and staying on top of every detail. Next, we'll move into the Deals tab, where you'll track opportunities from first proposal to close, draft quotes, and monitor revenue potential at every stage. The Deals tab is where you'll track every sales opportunity with your clients, from the very first proposal all the way to closed won or closed lost. This tab is for anyone on your team who manages deals and the sales lifecycle. To create a new deal, start by entering the date and selecting a client from the drop-down. A deal ID and the client's company info will fill automatically. Next, choose the lead source and stage of the deal, along with an expected close date. Add the deal value, the primary service being sold, and assign it to a team member as the deal owner. Enter the start date and contract length in months, then the end date will auto-calculate. Finally, add any notes you want to keep. As you enter deal details, the second half of the tab updates automatically to save you time. Invoiced value is pulled directly from the Invoices tab, when probability is based on the percentages you set in the Setup tab. Weighted value is equal to the deal value times win probability. See the deal age in days. Days in stage shows how long the deal has been in its current stage. Last interaction and next follow-up sync automatically with your interactions and follow-ups tabs. Close date shows the date the deal was either closed won or closed lost. And finally, the contract status will display whether the deal is active, upcoming, expired, or not started yet. When a deal is in the proposal or negotiation stages, it becomes ready to quote. Cells will turn darker green. Just tick the box to kick off the next steps, and the deal will appear in your Quote Generator tab so you can create and send an estimate to your client. Once a deal is marked closed won, it becomes ready to invoice. Cells will also turn darker green. Tick the box and the deal will automatically flow into your Invoices tab and Invoice Generator, ready for you to issue and send to clients. The Deals tab gives you full visibility over your entire pipeline, helping you track where every deal stands, what's ready for quoting or invoicing, and how much revenue you're projecting. Next, we'll look at how quotes and invoice items connect with your deals to make the process seamless. The QuoteItems tab is your master list of all quotes created from deals. This tab keeps every product, service, and pricing detail organized in one place, making it easy to track your quotes from start to finish. Each row is a line item tied to a client, a deal, and a quote number. One deal can have multiple line numbers based on the products or services needed. Creating a quote is simple. Select a deal ID and the client name will auto-populate. Only ready-to-quote deals will appear in the drop-down. Select the product or service, add a description, quantity, and unit price. The tab will automatically calculate line subtotals. If your product or service is taxable, tick the box. The tax amount is applied automatically based on your default tax rate, but you can override it for special tax cases if needed. The line total will then automatically calculate. Quote sent date, status, and archived link columns are automatically filled from actions taken in the Quote Generator tab, which we will see in the next section. Quote sent date automatically gets added for that quote. Status updates automatically as you process quotes and return. Open when the quote is sent and in review with the client. Accepted when the deal is closed won. Or rejected when the deal is closed lost. A clickable PDF link is automatically created and referenced in the archived link column when you archive the quote from the Quote Generator tab. The QuoteItems tab ensures every quote item is tracked with accuracy and consistency. Next, let's look at the Quote Generator tab. This is where you create formal quotes to share with your clients. Creating professional, client-ready quotes in just a few clicks. To get started, simply select a quote ID from the drop-down. Only ready-to-send quotes are available in the drop-down. The client name and deal details will autofill instantly, saving you time and reducing errors. From there, you can review the line items, totals, and tax amounts before finalizing the quote. A red message box will appear in the sidebar to give you the latest information about the quote, whether it was already sent, accepted, or rejected by the client. You'll also find the quick action buttons that make this tool powerful. Download PDF instantly to generate a polished, branded PDF version. Email quote. Send the quote directly to your client with the PDF attached. Archive quote. Save the PDF in your Google Drive under the Client Tracker folder, with links logged in the QuoteItems tab for easy reference later. The system also works smart in the background. It prevents duplicate sends, automatically applies your setup rules like validity period and assigned rep, and updates the quote's status based on the deal stage. For example, when a deal moves to closed won, the quote will automatically update to accepted. The Quote Generator takes care of the formatting and admin so you and your team can focus on closing deals and building client relationships. Create, send, and archive quotes seamlessly, all without leaving your spreadsheet. When a client accepts a quote, Update the Deals stage to Closed Won in the Deals tab and tick the Ready to Invoice box to move the client into the invoicing cycle. The next step will be handled in the Invoice tab. Let's review the main Invoices tab. The Invoices tab is your central tracker for all invoices. It displays the issued invoices, their status, and whether payments have been received. Whenever a deal is marked as ready to invoice in the Deals tab, a new record is automatically created here. From there, the system updates most fields for you. Each invoice has its own ID, and client details are pulled automatically from the Client tab. Subtotals, tax, total, and amount paid are pulled from the InvoiceItems tab and calculate outstanding balances. Additional fields include overdue flags, days past due, and last payment date, giving you instant visibility into unpaid invoices. Archived invoices automatically link to PDFs stored in Drive, and reminder statuses help you track when payment reminders were sent. These columns automatically fill based on automations or manual actions done in the Invoice Generator. In this tab, you'll only need to update the last two columns to confirm if an invoice is void or canceled to keep a clean financial record. Now, let's look at the InvoiceItems tab, where you'll create all your line items. The InvoiceItems tab is your master log of every line item across all invoices. It works very similarly to the QuoteItems tab, but here you're logging items that will be billed. Creating an invoice is simple. Select an invoice number. Only clients marked ready to invoice can be billed. Each invoice can contain multiple line items, depending on the products or services included. Each row represents a billed product, service, or fee and is automatically linked to your invoices and deals. Choose the invoice ID, select the product or service category, and add a description. Select the related deal ID. Enter quantities and unit prices. Subtotals and taxes calculate automatically. Just like in the QuoteItems tab, you can override the tax amount if a special tax case applies outside of your default tax rate. This tab ensures every invoice is consistent, accurate, and free of duplicate entry. Any update you make here rolls up into the Invoices and Invoice Generator tabs, keeping your reporting reliable. Once all items for an invoice are logged, move into the Invoice Generator tab to create, send, and share polished invoices with your clients. The Invoice Generator tab is your tool to create professional invoices in just a few clicks. Simply select an invoice number, and it will pull the client and autofill the invoice with the correct line items, client details, and payment terms. A red message box will appear in the sidebar to give you the latest information about the invoice, whether it has already sent or paid. The quick action buttons let you download PDF instantly to generate a polished, branded PDF version. Email and archive invoice. Sends the invoice by email to the client with a PDF attached, saves the PDF in your Drive in your client_tracker folder, and logs the link and send dates in your invoices and reminders system tabs for reference. Send reminder. Sends a payment reminder email to your client if the invoice is unpaid. If you have automations on, this happens automatically in the backend without manual actions. The Send Receipt button sends an email receipt to your client once payment is logged as cleared in the Payments tab. Every invoice created here is synced with the Invoices tab, and the archived invoices and sent dates get automatically added. If you set all automation on in the Setup tab, invoices and payment reminders email flows will trigger on their own. Otherwise, use the buttons in the Quick Action panel to manually control the lifecycle. If you want to send emails manually, just make sure the email sending action from the Setup tab is on. Next, let's move into the Payments tab, where you'll track cleared payments, refunds, and outstanding balances to keep your cash flow under control. The Payments tab is your dedicated tracker for all payments received against invoices. It ensures every transaction is properly logged, balances are kept accurate, and receipts are automatically generated when payments are cleared. To record a payment, simply select the client name from the drop-down, which auto-syncs from your Clients tab. Enter the amount received and the payment date. Link the payment to the correct invoice number to update balances in the Invoices tab. Only invoices from that client will appear in the drop-down. Choose the method of payment, such as card, bank transfer, PayPal, or cash. Select a status. Cleared when funds are finalized and received. Pending while still processing. Refunded if an invoice was canceled and the money is returned. Optionally, add a note to provide details and context. The remaining balance automatically updates as soon as a payment is linked. If the invoice is fully paid, its status updates to Paid in the Invoices tab. If only part of the balance is covered, the invoice stays marked as partially paid until the balance reaches zero. If you ever need to process a refund, you'll do it directly in this tab. To log it, add a new row using the same invoice number as the original payment. Enter the refund amount as a negative value, for example, minus 2,500. Then set the status column to refunded. This ensures your records remain accurate, the reversal is tracked properly, and the invoice stays consistent across reports. When email automations are enabled, a payment receipt can be instantly generated and sent to the client, or you can trigger it manually with a single click on the Send Receipt button in the Invoice Generator tab. Now that we've covered how payments are logged, tracked, and reconciled, let's shift gears into managing your team's workload. The next stop is the Task Tracker tab, where you'll keep all client-related tasks organized, assign owners, and make sure nothing slips through the cracks. The Task Tracker tab helps you organize and manage all your team's client tasks in one place. Think of it as your command center for staying on top of deadlines, priorities, and accountability. To log a new task, start by entering a task description. Then select the client and deal ID. Only active deals linked to that client will appear in the drop-down. Next, choose the service and category the task relates to, and set a priority level low, medium, or high. Update the status field to track progress, whether it's not started, in progress, completed, on hold, or canceled. Assign an owner so it's clear who is responsible for the task. Then, log the created on and due date. The sheet will automatically calculate days remaining, showing you how many days are left. When a task is completed, enter the completed on date and flip the status to completed. Completed tasks are highlighted in green. You can also add notes for extra context, like specific instructions or client details. Column filters located in the top headers of each column help you see what matters most to you or your team. For example, filter tasks by category or drill into any team member's workload to spot overloads or low-value tasks, so you can reassign, reprioritize, and keep everyone on track. If automations are enabled in your Setup tab, the system will send task reminder emails automatically to task owners before the due date. For example, 3 days before the due date if you set 3 in the Cadence Day configurations of the Setup tab. Sent email reminders are also automatically logged in the Reminders System tab to make sure no important task is missed. The task tracker not only keeps your team aligned, but also improves accountability and ensures every client deliverable stays on schedule. Now, let's move over to the Smart Calendar tab. The Smart Calendar tab is designed to help you visualize deadlines and stay on top of priorities. It combines tasks, follow-ups, and invoices into a single, easy-to-read monthly calendar. On the left-hand side, At the top, select the year, month, and week start to instantly refresh the calendar view. Then, you can filter activity by client or by team member to focus only on what matters most. You also have full control over what's displayed. You can choose to show only tasks, only follow-ups, only invoices, or any combination of the three. Plus, you can select to view active tasks, completed tasks, or all tasks depending on your needs. In the calendar itself, all activities appear directly on their due dates, so you always know what's coming up and what's overdue. On the right-hand side, you'll find a task progress summary showing the total number of tasks, how many have been completed, and how many are still pending. You'll also see a list of tasks and deadlines for the selected month, making it easy to prepare for the week or month ahead without jumping between tabs. Now, let's move into the Interactions tab. The Interactions tab works just like a built-in CRM communication log. Every time you connect with a client, whether by call, email, meeting, or message, you'll record it here. This ensures all conversations are tracked, outcomes are clear, and follow-ups never get missed. Here's how to log a new interaction. Enter the date when the interaction took place. Select the client from the drop-down. The company will automatically get added. Both clients and the company are linked to the Clients tab. Record how the interaction happened, whether by call, email, meeting, or another channel. Subject and notes. Add a short subject line and any key details from the conversation. The responsible team member is auto-filled. For the outcome, choose the result of the interaction, such as connected, sent, completed, or negative. The follow-up column auto-calculates when the next follow-up is due based on the cadence rules you set earlier in the Setup tab. If a follow-up is overdue, it appears in red for easy visibility. Finally, select the related deal so all activity is tied together for that client. This tab not only tracks what was discussed, but also powers your Follow-ups tab by automatically scheduling next steps, so you always know who to reach out to and when. The Follow-ups tab is designed to keep your client management proactive. Instead of remembering dates on your own, this tab centralizes all next steps and automatically pulls what's overdue. Here's how it works. Most of the columns are already populated for you. The last interaction date is pulled from the Deals and Interactions tabs. The Client and Deal ID are auto-filled from the Clients and Deals tabs. The person responsible for the follow-up. The most recent deal stage from the Deals tab. The next follow-up date is automatically generated from the Interactions tab and adjusted based on your cadence rules set in the Setup tab. The COM channel is the default contact method, synced from the Clients tab, though you can change it if needed. Email address and phone number are pulled automatically from the client's record so the owner is ready to take action. The consent column flags whether the client has opted out of marketing emails. This ensures you only send transactional emails if email is the preferred method. Days overdue and due bucket are automated countdowns and status showing whether a follow-up is upcoming, on time, or overdue. Anything overdue is highlighted in red. Simply enter notes or any details about the follow-up, like what you discussed or agreed on, and tick the checkbox once the follow-up is complete. When marked done, the row automatically updates to green, so you can see at a glance what's finished. The Follow-up tab transforms your follow-ups into a clear, prioritized action list, keeping your client relationships active and moving forward. Next, we'll move into the Reminders System tab, where you can see how automated reminders and actions get logged to provide you with full transparency on how your business is running on the back end. Think of the Reminders System tab as your black box. It tracks every automated or manual action the system performs, so you always have a record of what was sent, when, and how. This tab doesn't require any input from you. Instead, it serves as your audit log for all actions, whether automated by the system or triggered manually. Here's what you'll find. Date sent, when the reminder, invoice, or quote went out. Client, document type, and document number show which client and whether the action was tied to an invoice, quote, or task reminder. Reminder type specifies the action, like quote sent, invoice sent, archived, or task reminder. Channel shows how the action was handled, like email, PDF download, or Drive archive. The method tells you whether the action was automated by the system or triggered manually with a button click. Status is the result, for example, sent, archived, or downloaded. Notes include context or extra details about the action or automation, such as which template was used. File links references a clickable link to the PDF or archived file, so you can instantly download or confirm delivery. This tab is especially useful when you need to double-check whether an email went out, confirm that a document was archived, or troubleshoot delivery issues. In short, it's your proof of record for everything the tracker sends. Next, let's head into the last tab of the tracker, the dashboard. The Dashboard tab is where all of the data comes together into clear, visual reports to help you track performance at a glance. The dashboard is organized into 6 sections: sales pipeline, active contracts, tasks and activity, interactions, financial snapshot, and automations report. On the top left-hand side, select the year you want to review or all to review all, time performance. Pie charts break down clients by status, industry, and lead source. Bar charts show one clients by sales rep, so you know who's bringing in the most business. Track opportunities across each stage, from lead to proposal to close. See how deals move through your pipeline. Analyze potential revenue based on win probability. Get insights into contract status, average value, and expiration timeline and upcoming renewals, so you never miss a chance to extend a client relationship. Stay on top of your team's productivity with tasks by status, category, and priority, upcoming tasks, and owner completion rates. Review total interactions logged, top communication channels, and recent activity. Track money in one place with invoices by status, account receivables aging, and monthly revenue trends. See how automation is saving you time with counts of emails sent, quotes archived, task reminders, and time-saving estimates that show how many hours automation has freed up. The dashboard gives you a complete 360 view of your entire business with over 60 KPIs and metrics of reference, from clients and deals to tasks, revenue, and automations. And that's a wrap. You've now seen how to use every tab inside your Client Tracker Pro, from setting up your business profile, logging clients, tracking deals, generating quotes and invoices, recording payments, managing tasks, and staying on top of follow-ups, all the way through to powerful dashboards that give you a complete view of your business. This template was designed to help you save time, stay organized, and grow smarter, with automation doing the heavy lifting and your data always connected in one place. If you need to revisit anything, use the YouTube chapters to jump directly to the section you want or revisit the Instructions tab of the spreadsheet. We hope this CRM tracker makes tracking your business, clients, and deals simple, clear, and stress-free. If you love the spreadsheet, please consider leaving a review. And if you haven't grabbed yours yet, get your copy from the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and here's to turning every deal into a success story.